noonday conversation. But today is a really great day because today is the day my mom was born. Okay. And so if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. So shout out to the moms. Shout out to the moms in the house, which I am a mom. And now being a mom, I understand everything that she's been through. So the one of the things that we normally do for her birthday is try to get her to travel with us. And so we normally travel around this time because um, it's her birthday and she won't travel by herself. Like literally, if it's like if my mom is to plan a trip, I maybe when we were kids or whatever, but it wasn't a hi, funny and insightful. Good to see you. You like the proposal video? Yes. Guys, that's another thing. I got proposed to again after 20 years. So 20 years, 2000, yeah, it's 20 years ago, Terrence proposed. And y'all know we've been together 20 years, but we've been married 18 years. So we are going to do it again. We gonna do this all again. All right. So he after all these years, he still wanna he still wanna marry me. He still wanna hang out with the kid. So, so of course, it has to be some sort of destination. We are all about that travel life. Um, making our everyday, ordinary days into something like an adventure, a huge adventure. Well, 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 congratulations to you. I recently completed 10 years too. Oh, it's a special feeling indeed. It is. It is a special feeling to, like, because your spouse gets to see you, like, gets to see what people don't get to see. You're not putting on, not to say that you come out in public and put on, but there are times that you might edit yourself in efforts to be respectful or to be, you know, to keep things PG, and they get to see it all. Your spouse gets to see it all. The way you wake up in the morning, the way you handle bills, the way you handle your stress, the way you handle other people, the way you handle children, the way you handle yourself, the way you handle them. And in life, like, you don't have to be perfect. Like, I used to, I believe when I was a kid, I used to have this thing that I wanted to get everything right. I wanted to do things right, get everything right, make sure that I was right. All the rights. As you get older, you be like, look, I don't have the energy to get everything right, to do things right. Hi, Rodolpha, to be right. I don't have to be right. I could be wrong all day. That's fine. That's okay with me. Well, if we were not meant to travel, we would have we would have been trees, period. Exactly. Well, don't short yourself. He couldn't have done better. Anyway, hey, thank you. Hi, Gage. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Yes. So I did. Hey, listen, he did all right with choosing me. He did good. He did good. Awesome. Congratulations. I'm just getting started. I've been married 8 years now at 38 years old. Oh, that's good, Keita. That's a long time though. Listen, to make it past 1 year of marriage. Hello, Top Hat. How you doing? To make it past 1 year of marriage, to make it past a month of marriage. You see in the news sometimes people get married and then they divorce. Who got married? Didn't uh uh Tony Braxton and Birdman were together for a long time, and then they got married and divorced like the day after. Didn't you hear that? Marsha T, how you doing? Greetings and blessings, sister. How are you? Pray all is well. Yes, everything is well. Hi, Gage. Oh, Top Hess, I'm doing good. Yeah. So to get through 1 year marriage is an accomplishment. I will say, okay, so like one thing that y'all are going to see. So as we go through this journey of getting remarried, I'm going to start dropping some of our things. Some of you guys might know that we've been living together our whole relationship. So technically, oh, my sister's calling on the other line. So technically, Hopefully you guys are there on. Let me know if y'all are still there on Facebook. Yeah, so technically we've been living together our whole marriage. Y'all gonna see, I will put that up. I'm gonna try. Look, I'm gonna try to drop the gems and then talk about it later. So I'll drop some surprising things about the way we did it and the way we've done it. I don't even think I've even really gotten into some of the things that has worked for us. I wouldn't advise my children to do it that way. Like we lucked out. We lucked out. We lucked out because um it's been 20 years. And so we've been married. We were engaged for 2 years. And so he proposed really early in the relationship. And I think that's because hi Arville. I think that's because we were together every day. We were together every day. And so we were getting to know each other, we were having fun. And we only had one break in our relationship. You said like 9 months. He proposed like 10 months, like 9 to 10 months he proposed. And that was a surprise too. Okay. So when Terrence and I met and we were dating, I had just he was coming out of Terrence, I'm about to tell your business. Terrence had a lot going on, and guys over here on Facebook, I used to call it a colorful life. So my husband, he wasn't short of women company. You see, I'm trying to say it really nice, okay? He was a bit of a player from the Himalayas. We were young, okay? So he's a man in his 20s, going into his 30s. You know what I'm saying? He had it going on. I'm just trying to say it nice. And so Terrence was not the guy that I thought I would marry. He's the guy that I said, "Ooh, we could have fun." Like he was good energy. Like he was like a bright light. Like he was funny, he was fun, and I like this energy. Marsha T said, just to chime in, many married and went into marriage without a sound foundation and allow outside naysayers to have a say in their marriage. Plus, God has to be the source head of your marriage. Okay, you are so right. God does have to be the source. Will you please subscribe? Top Hat, subscribe. Yes, please subscribe. Great subject discussion. Thank you. Man was a baller. Yes, he was a baller. Hey, Ash Tink. Okay, yes, he was a baller. Okay. And so when we got together, I had just gotten out of a relationship and I just wanted things to be light. I wanted to have a great time. I was traveling. I was a solo traveler when I met Terrence. So I was traveling. This was before I became a flight attendant. So I went to London for like a month. I didn't know anybody. I stayed with a friend of a friend. I was just traveling, having a great time. Got into a relationship, and it was such a it was a nice. We had fun, but I think emotionally it was like really heavy. It was just like kind of like we should have just been friends. Like sometimes you get in relationships with somebody and it's just for a moment, but like for the long haul, I didn't see that. And so I kind of was running out of the relationship because I was like, oh, I think I made a mistake here getting with this person in my life. Like this is a mistake. It's not going the way that it's not going the way that I think it should go. I feel too pressured. I felt like the responsibility was all on me. LOL. Hold on. You say player from the Himalaya. I say the other day and have everyone laughing. Oh, you play from the Himalayas. So were you both rebound for each other? Oh, this is a good question. Is that how it started? Okay. Don, what are you talking about? Oh Lord. Hey Anthony. Lord. Oh Lord. Okay. So look. So I had just gotten out of a relationship. You could call it I wouldn't call him a rebound, but people in the category might say something like that. He was still like, he wasn't in anything. Hey, tennis. Hey, queen. Just stopping by to say a quick hi. Okay. And keep your eyes straight. Okay. You know, remember, I know you keep your eyes at work. Don't keep them straight. Keep them straight. I thought cookies, sweet. That's so sweet, Anthony. Okay. So, and he was not in anything serious, or I don't know. He had a lot going on. I can't speak for his other relationships. That's for him to speak about. But when I met him, I said, "Oh, he's a nice guy. He's going to be my friend. He's going to be my friend. I just enjoy his company, and I am a person that will have guy friends, you know, especially when I was younger. I could hang out with the guys, we could hang out, and it will be platonic, it will be nothing. But for him, I knew it was something more than just friendship. I liked him like that. Like, he was really, first of all, he had the best smile, Terrence, and he had the best laugh. And we could talk all day long. And he gave great advice. We could talk. Him and I we could get into some conversations. And so he was just a breath of fresh air. I didn't know if it was for a season or for like the long haul. And I did but I was very honest with the situation. I was traveling, you know, Terrence was traveling a bit too because he was in the military, and how we end up spending a lot of time together is he was in the military here in this area. I was living in New York. And so because he was in the military, he would come to New York, but there were times he had to be in the area. So he invited me down to Maryland to hang out with him. And I was like, oh no, you're not going to get me. Okay. I'm going to church. I'm praying to God. I'm celibate. I am not going to fall for what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're trying to get me here for. Hold on. Wait. He was doing the tasting by, like my granny used to say, until he sell the nerves. Hey. Funny cipher. That is what all wives say, but they all know their man ships with the women. Is it ships with women? Including the occasional hi to lunch lady. And I'm like, you guys, Lord have mercy. He just wanted to go. Oh, Don, I can't mistakenly read your messages. You got to keep this PG. This is a family channel. So just my kids might see this stuff. So you gotta keep it clean here. Okay? You gotta keep it clean. That's just we could have a conversation, we could be grown, but you can't be nasty. Don't be nasty on here. Okay? Don't be nasty. But anyway, so, Arville, Keita, all of y'all, Ashton, Rodolfo, y'all over there, Teresa, y'all over there, the fams over there. Okay, just making sure y'all there. Okay, so when we got together, it was just a great time. But the first weekend, Terrence took me to the park. He took me for dinner. I did come, by the way. Obviously, I came to visit him after him convincing me to come visit him. And he took me to church on Sunday. Sold. Slam dunk. Slam dunk. Everybody say happy birthday to my mother too. I don't want y'all to forget. It is my mother's birthday, so make sure y'all say happy birthday to mom as we do this. Oh, I was talking about cookies. Okay. Let's be respectful. Okay, por favor, please. Exactly. Why your eyes spaced? Ryan, please. It's my mother's birthday, and I'm telling a good story. You don't want my eyes to go further apart. You don't want my eyes to cross, please. And I don't need no crosses on here today. Okay, no crosses. Ryan, keep it clean over here. No. My mom is, you can't, my mom's is big time, okay? Leave my mom out of this. Just say happy birthday. Man, strategically took you to different places to elevate the experience and finally close out the deal. He was strategic, yes. He took me to the park. We went for a walk. Thank you for saying happy birthday to Mom Arville. He took me to the park. We went for walks and talks. We went out to dinner. Then he took me to church. And can I just tell you something? So remember, this was long distance. I stayed an extra couple of days, went back to New York. When I came back, I stayed a couple of more days. We're talking like 20 years later. And only one time in our relationship did we ever part for, I think it was like 4 weeks. So basically, we've been together in the same residence for 20 years, dating, getting to know each other, and married. So some might say arranged marriages might work, like getting to know somebody. I would not tell my daughters to do that. And hopefully they don't get to see this live. But we've been together our whole relationship, talking on the phone all day when we're at work, all that stuff. We still, now that he has like, when he was working his other shift and he had time to like talk like in between cases, we talk on the phone and we be talking about all kinds of stuff. We still do that now. Happy birthday to real estate mogul from Florida. Yes, she's was dealing with real estate today. Marsha T said Terrence smooth and sweet talking. Exactly. And won over. Yep. Taking me to church. Brunch. Exactly. You start scribbling his last name after your first name. Exactly. I was like, and here's the thing, let me tell you. So I was talking about the proposal, right? So because we were in such an environment where we were together every day, we were seeing like what we got to see each other from day one. This like we got to see everything. As a matter of fact, when I had like a sew-in, and you guys might not know, but I had my hair all braided up and I had a sew-in, I had a little weave. And it was time to take it out. And he had to take out my weave for me. I said, oh, I'm in love. He had to take my weave out. That means all of my hair. I have a lot of hair. And it was like whoosh, all over the place. And he had to take the braids out for me because I couldn't do it by myself. And I didn't have any hairdressers here. And I just wanted to wash and set my own hair. And guys might not understand this, but if you have a wife that will wear sewing, you understand. he had to see it all. Was there a moment when you suddenly stopped talking and went, man? So he suddenly stopped talking. Man, he's popping out with the ring. A moment he swept you away off his feet. So I'm gonna tell you about that story. When he proposed to me, I had no idea. We had only talked about birthday greetings. Oh, hold on one second. Let me see. Birthday greetings. Blessings to mom. God bless you. Keep you and pray you celebrated in your life. Peace. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Marsha T. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will let mom know. Okay. Y'all still have great talks. Yes, we still have great talks. So listen. The first weekend that I came to visit Terrence, we talked about a wedding. And at that time, I had never had a wedding. And he had never had a wedding. And so he says, what would your ideal wedding look like? And I said, oh, it would be at the beach. And it would be intimate. And it will be a destination. And he said, oh, I have that vision too. That's the first weekend we hung out. We never talked about it again. So we talked about destination weddings. That was it. I wasn't at that time thinking to lock, clank, married, none of that stuff. Okay. I was, like I said, freshly out of a relationship. And so I just was enjoying Terrence. And him and I were having a good time. So in us hanging out and getting to know each other and doing all that other good stuff, we never talked about it again. Hi, Rosie Gems. How you doing? Wagwan. How you doing? How you doing? Let me do this. Hold on. Add as a moderator. Okay. Let me do this for Rosie. Wagwan, Rosie. Hold on. And Marsha T. Hold on. Okay. And then Marsha. Okay. All right, guys. So listen. Okay, so what part of the story am I at? Okay, so we had never talked about marriage again. We're dating, we're hanging out. Terrence gets out the military. Um, and Terrence is, I have a son, which is Terrence's son. So I met Terrence, and he had a son, and he was, young, and he was hanging out. He was with us too. And Terrence buys a house. He gets out the military, and he buys a house, a townhome, and I'm there living with him. So I want, I like a nice little fancy environment. So I contribute because I'm living there now. Now, mind you, yes, we're living together. This is like, because he's in the military and it's long distance from New York to Maryland, and I just don't feel like being in a long distance situation. And we're not really verbalizing. The crazy thing about it is that, oh no, we have verbalized it. Okay, so in our dating, I realized that we're dating. Although I'm here every day, not in this particular place, but I'm at the apartment with him, and we're there every day. I'm still understanding that we're not like saying boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, who says that anymore? Like, do you say I'm your boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend? Do you have that exclusive conversation? You know what I'm saying? Like what happens in dating? And so we didn't really have the conversation. And partially is because I didn't want to mentally trick myself out of anything. I just wanted to enjoy what we were doing. I didn't put a name, a claim, or nothing. I just wanted to hang out. But at some point, Terrence is really still like, not to say that he's friendly, like he didn't have a girlfriend or anything like that, but I don't know how much he's cut off because I'm not asking any questions. I'm just telling him that I'm not interested. I'm too vulnerable at this point to be in any situation where I'm sharing a relationship with anybody. And because we're still getting to know each other, it's like, how much do you dictate or require when you're still trying to figure it out yourself? So at a certain point, when I realized, oh, I'm really, really liking him, I'm like, hey, I'm too vulnerable in this stage of the game to go through any player tendencies, to have any situation where I'm sharing a relationship with somebody. I can't share my man. I can't do it. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you that you should stop. Hi, Sarita. I shouldn't tell you that you should stop talking to people or whatever. We're together every day. But Terrence is a friendly guy, and he gives great advice, and he has good conversation. So I understand people still wanted to be in his life, and I am not going to put any rules down other than for me. This is just a stage I was at that time. Remember, I had just came out of something, so I wasn't interested in none of that stuff, none of that sharing, none of that player stuff that people have to deal with in relationships. I was not interested. I didn't have time. What's going on, family? I'm talking about talking about the Terrence story. I was not interested in none of that. So this is the summertime, and I wanted to go, I was invited to a wedding and I wanted to have a date. So in my mind, I said, I'm going to hang out with Terrence until this wedding. And after the wedding, I'm going to kindly um, thank him for a wonderful couple of months of hanging out. Let him know that I've enjoyed this friendship, this relationship, this hanging out, whatever we were doing. I enjoy it. I have had a great time. He's been a gentleman to me, and we have like had like a whirlwind of fun. But I was not interested in changing anyone. I wasn't interested in going through any ups and downs. I had been there, done that in my life, and I was still young and still, I still had the energy. So we could be friends. So I didn't tell him like that I was going to have this conversation with him. I just told him, listen, after this wedding, I packed my stuff. I had my things, and I just wanted to make sure that I had a date for the wedding. Okay. So I had packed my things, and the wedding was in Jersey. And I knew that after he took me to the wedding, we were going to be just friends. And I was going to be very clear and just like leave us friends because I really like Terrence. I was like, I like him, and I'd rather have him as a friend than not. Okay. So, but I wanted to have fun at the wedding. So I was like, I'm not going to tell him until after the wedding. Now, mind you, we're hanging out. We're doing $5 dates, $25 dates. We going to parks, movies. We going to church. Okay. Now we praying together now. Okay. So we going to church. We in the same house. Okay. So we getting to know each other. Okay. I'm just tell you that we getting to know each other. We were in there. And this wedding comes, and I made sure I still have the dress upstairs. I don't think I could fit it right now, but the dress is upstairs. It was a blue dress, and I just made sure that I looked like I was doing the tango in the blue dress. And we danced, and we partied, and we hung out the whole time. The wedding was magnificent, and I enjoyed Terrence so much. And then I had the conversation. When you guys are still there, let me know if y'all still in the comments. Please type in I'm here. Also, make sure on YouTube that you subscribe to the channel if you are new. Subscribe and hit that like button. But yeah, so we're in it. We're dancing. The wedding is coming to an end. And he has to drive back 3 hours to Maryland. And I say to him, Terrence, my God, I had such a great time. Thank you for taking me to this wedding. I enjoyed you so much. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed you this whole couple of months. We have had a great time. And because we've had, okay, good. I see you, Arville says I'm here. Okay, type in that I'm here. Type in I'm here. And because we've had such a great time, I want to keep our friendship. So I no longer think that we should be anything more than friends. So I friend zoned Terrence after the wedding. And I had already had my stuff. So I stayed in Jersey, and then I went to New York afterwards. So I stayed in Jersey that night because the wedding was in Jersey. He had to drive back to Maryland, and we had such a great time, but he was so confused. His face dropped like, what? Wait, we've been having this romance. We've been having this friendship. We've been having this courtship. this wedding is fire and we're having such a great time. We are matching, we're vibing. And you're not coming back to Maryland with me and you telling me that you just want to be friends. He was confused. He was like, okay. He's like, what? Okay. And Terrence just looked really shocked and he looked surprised. And but he went back and then he called me. So he was driving back. So it's kind of late at this point, and he's driving back and we're talking. He calls me and he was like, I'm surprised you answered the phone. And I'm like, oh, why would you be surprised that I answered the phone? Like I still want to be friends with you. You know what I mean? Like I want to be friends. I just feel like I don't have I shouldn't tell you who you should date or who you should be with or what it should be. You're grown, and I just don't think that I should do that to you. I think it should be natural, it should be organic. And for me, I like you a lot, and I don't want to ruin it. And so, I think that we could do this, we could have a lifetime of friendship. He was I don't think Terrence have in his life had ever like encountered that. Like there's no problems. Like what's the problem? There's no problems here. You're here with me every day. But I'm also, yes, I am here with you every day. But I'm also, I'm an aware woman. Like I'm aware that there are like there are friends outside that you probably need to cut off a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably need to cut some of these conversations that you're having. But who am I to tell him that? He grown, I'm grown. Like I don't do that. Like I'm just not that kind of person. Like I really am not interested in like being having you under manners. I don't want to do that. It's already enough raising children. I don't want to have to raise anybody up. I want to inspire you, but I don't want to tell you what to do. Oh no, 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 no. So don't try this at home. What I normally the things that I was doing back then, I probably would have not normally done. Like I would have not normally told people about my vulnerability. I was too vulnerable. So I said, "Hey, I'm too vulnerable for this." Like I wouldn't normally say that. You keep your feelings and your stuff to yourself. You don't tell people you're vulnerable, especially a guy. You don't tell them you're vulnerable. But I just couldn't mask anything at that point. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the energy. I couldn't mask anything. Okay, I'm vulnerable. I like you. I can't handle this. Let's be friends. Not let's try it. Let's think. It's like nope. You look like trouble. I used to say your life looked too colorful for me. All ages, shapes, colors. It's too much going on. Terrence, you got too much going on, and this girl can't take it right now. Okay, this girl can't handle it. So we done. I'm supposed to be cooking here, y'all. Lord have mercy. But the conversation is good. So let me just say, okay. So y'all there with me? Y'all still there? Make sure y'all put a like, hit that like button. Y'all still there with me? We. If y'all haven't liked on Facebook, please like. Let the people know that we here. Okay, so I go to New York. I travel to New York. I'm in Jersey that day. I travel to New York. And he's still calling. And he's confused, y'all. He's confused because I'm serious. He's like, wait a minute. Are we really in the friend zone? Like, did you really friend zone me? Like, what happened? I was like, nothing happened. I just don't want to tell you what to do. Like you're a nice guy and we can hang out. I don't want to tell you what to do. You do what you want to do, but I can't share you. And I need clarity and stability and all of that. And he was confused because he was giving me all of that, but maybe still having conversations outside of it. You know, maybe he in his mind was deciding or coming to a decision, but it was like I cut it off so quickly before he can get to that we in this. So, mind you, we had only talked about marriage or a wedding, not marriage. We only talked about a wedding that first weekend that we went out on a date. And then I cut him off a couple of months into us, you know, being together every day. And I put him in the friend zone. And so he calls me one day, and this is like maybe 3 weeks of us not seeing each other, him being in Maryland, I'm being in New York. We're not like, I'm not calling him, like, because I'm trying to wean myself off of his presence. I'm like, let me just cleanse myself from this nice, funny, handsome, wonderful guy who I don't want to change. I don't feel like he should change. Like, I didn't feel like he should change. I felt like he was great the way he was. So why would I come in and try to run the situation? I didn't want to run it. I didn't want it to be on me and then what I created, and it wasn't really what he wanted. So I didn't feel like doing none of that. None of that stuff we do as women that we feel like, oh, we're gonna change a guy. We feel like we're gonna, you know, he's gonna be this way because of what we do. There's guys, ladies, there's nothing that we can do, nothing that we can do to change anybody. Men have to change on their own. They have to want to do it, and they have to want. You can't do nothing. Just that. Get that out of your head. You can't cook enough. You can't clean enough. You can't sing enough. You can't, you know what, enough. You can't do none of that enough. Everybody's doing the same thing. It has to be that this is your person. God says this is for you. And sometimes we don't want to wait on God because it's like, God, you taking too long. You know what I'm saying? God, you taking way too long. I want to go on vacation. I want I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to do all these things. So God, you're taking too long. But I was not interested in doing anything that God didn't want me to do. I was tired, guys. I was tired. I was tired. And I was still young, but I was like, I am not interested in this. I don't like to get my feelings hurt. I don't like to be in no heartache. I don't like none of that. It's not really a good feeling. And so I'm all right. We'll be fine. I'm a tough cookie. I will move on. You know, it only gets better. That was my thought process. Like, it can only get better. Like, I never get out of a relationship and then think, oh, I'm never gonna find. No, I always think, oh, well, if this one was good, then it's gonna get better. I don't know. I just think that way. It only gets better. I'm not going to think that it's only going to get worse. It's going to get better. So if you're not it, then my it is going to be better. Why? Because God said so. That was my thought process. So God, if you ain't saying that this is my person, now he seems like he my person. He looking like him. He acting like him. He's smelling like him. Like he kind of look like he could be my person. But if you ain't telling me that, I'm not interested. Arville said it's better to wait on God because when you don't, oh, we mess around and find out we should have waited for sure. Listen, I done messed around and found out in my life before. It is not pretty. It's hurtful. I had to purge, cleanse, and regroup and get my mental right and all that other stuff. So I told you when I got with Terrence, I told him I was vulnerable. He probably like, this woman is off the chain. Like, who goes to a guy that they like and be like, hey, I'm vulnerable? A guy would take advantage of you if you go to a guy and tell him. So a lot of the stuff that I did, I would not tell anybody. I'm not advising anybody to do any of the things that I did. I wouldn't tell you to live together the whole relationship, especially if you're going to church every Sunday. We was going to church every Sunday, y'all. Yep, we were. I would not advise anybody to, if you like somebody, cut them off. I was gambling, but I wasn't trying to, like, I wasn't doing it to get him to do something. I just said, Jackie, girl, you better control yourself. Don't try to control him. You control you. So if you see that somebody is still, hanging out or still have people in their life, whether it's a verbal conversation or anything, and you're not interested in sharing, then you get to choose. Don't try to change him. Don't tell him what to do. Don't tell him why you're doing it. Just do what you have to do for you, and put your grown uh, underwears on. Put on your grown girl underwears, and be a woman and do what you got to do. So that being said, this is 3 weeks in of us not talking. And he's like, what is this girl's problem? She is not acting like anybody I've met in my life. And this is why I put up the post that he's had to deal with me, because I just don't, I am in my own little bubble, y'all. I drive my own in my own lane. I live in my own little world. I think the way I think. I don't try to disrupt anybody with their thoughts. I try to share the good things. I try to be real with who I am. It's not to say that things are perfect. There's nothing that's perfect other than God. I ain't God, so I don't have to wear that responsibility. So I don't have to be perfect. I just doing me, and I'm sharing. Arville says, I agree. It's best to have your own. Yes. Like, I'm not interested. I ain't fighting nobody. We not having none of that. We not doing that. Like, word, this is what we doing, because this is another saga story, but we on this one story here. So at week 3, he calls me and he says, hey, if I now hear what he says, if I clear out everything and everyone in my life, are you still going to be there? So now you calling negotiating with me. Wait a minute. First of all, I don't know how long that's going to take you. I don't know who's in your life, because I had no idea. And if you're saying the words like everyone in my life, oh my gosh, it's worse than I thought. Now, I figured he was real friendly Friday, but everyone? Who's the everyone? It's just me and you hanging out all these months. Who is everyone? And where do you have time to see and talk to everyone? But mind you, like I said, it was a very peculiar but fun setup, because we were getting to know each other. So there was some things that it's not like you could be like, oh, you said I'm your girlfriend and you're not, da, 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 da. So you can't. I came into the situation. He was a handsome guy who was responsible and generous and all that way before I met him. I came in and I was like, oh, he's so responsible. And it's not like he was rich. He had a hoopty, y'all. The front end of his car was off. I had a better car than he did. I didn't care. He was a good time. He kept his word with me too. Like, he said he would do something, he did it. Right? So I was like, oh, so I didn't know what he said. So I felt like he's calling me, and here he is trying to reel me in. This is 3 weeks now. So after 3 weeks, you shaking them up, out your system. You're like, ooh, okay, let me shake him out of my system. Let me not think of him. Let me not see him. I got to just shake him off. I got to move on. I got to see who's out there, what's out there. I got to move on. Okay. And here you come, that call. That call that you wait for. I was like, he's calling me. But then it's weird. The conversation is really weird. If I clear out everyone in my life, are you going to be there? So now you want me to commit to if. Don't come explain to me here what this conversation don't seem to. It seems like it's a good. It's seeming like we're going in the right direction, but it just seems like you're trying to pull me into something that I don't know. It's just too vague. If I clear out everybody in my life, are you still going to be there? Sir, I had to say, sir, first of all, I don't know how long you gonna take to clear out. And I didn't know there was so everybody's. So now we talk about everybody's. And I can't guarantee you any of that. How about whenever you feel like whenever that time comes, how about you hit me up and call me then? Girls, ladies, gentlemen, that was tough. Because I liked him now. I am not gonna front. I am not gonna front and say that I did not like him. I was already sold, but I was practicing the most self-control that I could have at the time. Okay? That was it's hard. Okay, well, let me tell you a couple of hard things. It's hard to work really hard and not get paid. That's a hard thing. But it's hard to really like somebody and tell them we can't be together. We gonna be friends. It's hard to do that. I like you, and you trying to half tell me some good things because to me it wasn't concrete enough, and vulnerability will have you um agree to something that don't sound right. Dude, you know that don't sound right. There ain't nothing right about what you telling me right now. If I clear out everyone, there's some key words. There's some popping out the words that came. If mm-mm. Everyone, red flag, flag on the play, flag on the play. Who is everyone and if? So I can't agree to that. I couldn't agree to it. I couldn't. I was like, call me when you're done and we'll see where we're at. We'll see where you're at. We'll see where I'm at. Okay. So guys, that's week 3. So week 4, he comes to New York with a friend. And he's testing the waters at this time. Now, this is like a good this is like going into 4 weeks. And so he's visiting. Now, mind you, the reason why he's able to come to where I'm at is because remember, his sister is one of my best friends. So he's coming to the crib because his sister is there, right? So I get to see him not because he's just coming to where I'm at because I'm giving him access. He's my best friend's brother. Okay, so that's another part I didn't tell you. He wasn't a complete stranger. I didn't know him like that, but I knew his family. So that is a little bit I always forget. I don't forget that part of the story, but that's probably why I felt a little bit more comfortable to hang out with him and didn't really know him like that. So so okay. So he comes up. And I don't know what he thought. I think he was just trying to gauge my energy, gauge where I was. Like, is she playing? Because when we're young, you say things you really don't mean, and most of the time, men push you, like, or not push you, but they kind of convince you that you're saying the right things for yourself, but you really want to do this. So why have such a definite no? Don't be a definite no. Open up the door and see what we could do. I was not having it, y'all. I was strong. He came and I was like, what's up, buddy? Let me pat. I'm gonna give you a pat. What's up? How you doing? How's life treating you? And I'm telling you, y'all see how Terrence be confused. He was so confused. Like, how is this girl just acting like she just did not have the best time, the best couple of months? Nothing happened. We're not in any problems. Why is she just making all of these definite decisions to have me as a friend in her life and nothing happened? And she's not asking me to be her boyfriend. She's not asking me for anything. She's just kind of on her own evaluating, like, this could work out. Listen, you've been through enough. You be like, I'm not playing this game with people. I ain't got no time for none of this. Nope. No way. I wasn't. And I was taking a risk because he could have really just been like, all right, well, you know what? I'm moving on. And he would have been one of those stories of the guys that, oh, like, you know how you reminisce and be like, oh, he was such a good guy. I didn't even give it a chance, and then you would have moped over it, and whatever. So, but who's for you? They know, like, a man will know. Now, I knew in my heart, I knew how I felt, but I was like, I'm not trying to do me. I'm not trying to do anything to push this agenda. I didn't want to have an extra agenda, y'all. I didn't want to have an agenda. I wanted it to be organic, and I wanted it to be real, and I just didn't want it to be phony. I just didn't want to do the fake and phony stuff. I just didn't. I didn't want to do none of that. I just wasn't interested. So he left New York, realizing that I was just keeping him in the friend zone. Okay? So I kept him in the friend zone. Guys, are you still there? Let me know if y'all are still there. Let me see if I'm swiping up. Let me swipe, and then swipe back. Okay, just want to make sure y'all are still there. And so I get another phone call, right? And he says this proposition to me, like, I'm gonna clear out everything, and is it gonna be me and you? And I told him before, no, that was only one conversation. So this is after New York. I'm sorry. So this is after New York, and I told him this conversation of like, yo, I can't promise you anything. I don't know what time, how. Okay, I don't know how long this is gonna be, and all that other stuff. So one of my friends is dating one of his friends. And I hear, like, I say good, it's like morning time, and I say good morning to Terrence. I mean, not to Terrence, to his friend. And I'm like, oh, where are you? He says, I'm at Terrence's house, whatever. And I hear people in the background. Now, this guy just called me. I ain't people in the background. It's people, like, this morning time. What's going on? So I said, oh, he playing games. Like, you got parties going on in the morning. Like, what's happening here? So when he called me, guys, I didn't answer. Now, um, mind you, he is calling me all this time, checking in on me, and I would answer. But I stopped answering. Why? Because I'm being vulnerable with you. I'm being honest with you. I feel like you're omitting some information. There's some information that now, yes, you did tell me if you clear people out, am I going to be there? So you're trying to get guarantees before you do what you got to do. No, you should clear people out of your life that you don't really have any full interest, because you're wasting their time. But I'm not going to tell you that. Why? Because I'm not your mama. I'm not your counselor. And at this point, I might not be your friend anymore, because I don't want nobody playing with me. Okay? Wait a minute. Didn't you just call me with this? And now I hear people in the background. Wait a minute. So listen, people would think I am expressive, and I'm quiet. So in certain areas, in arenas, just a listener, but I'm listening to everything. I'm hearing what you're not saying. I'm reading between the lines. I'm like, that's how I roll, and that's how I've always been. And I'm being honest with myself. So I was like, I'm not answering this call. At this point, now you don't have access to me. And I don't have to make an announcement that you don't have access to me. I just have to say, oh, Jackie, you were really doing the right thing. Keep because he's a nice guy. You want to keep him as a friend, and you just kind of want to purge from him, because you know he's not where you're at right now. And so, and you want to be, and you still want him in your life or whatever. So, like, keep him cool. And so, y'all, I didn't answer the phone, and he kept on calling. Then he started calling Sean. And then he started calling Christine, and he's like, wait a minute, y'all are together and she's not answering. So she's purposely not answering, right? And so he's calling, and this is a whole weekend. This is like from Friday to Sunday now. And by Sunday, I hear this message that he leaves. He says, guys, I noticed by now, this is like 3 days, and I'm blowing you up and you're not answering. So um, if you don't call me back this evening, you should now you're trying to leave demands, right? If you don't call me back this evening, I completely get the message, you know, and I've enjoyed you, and I care for you, but I definitely will get them. I got the message. And I felt bad, y'all, because I don't like to like play any games, but I really needed like a couple of days because I heard, like, I know what I heard, and I'm not. Who am I? I'm not gonna call him and check him. Like, sir, you just called me and told me if you clear out everything in your life, and then I hear people in the background and it's morning time. Oh no, 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 no. I stopped dealing with you because you still got a lot going on, and it's just we just ain't doing what we needed to be doing. Yeah, and I can't tell you anything because we're not together. This is that 4 week thing. So who am I to tell you? Well, I called him and I said, I got your message and I don't want to be rude, you know. And then I told him what I heard, and he was like, well, thank you for telling me what you heard. He's like, remember, I called you and I asked you if I cleared out everybody in my life, would you still be there? And you told me to clear, and that's what I was doing. I was clearing people out of my life. And you know what he did, y'all? He showed up in New York, all the way from Maryland, and came and got me. And this is 20 years later. So that was the only time we had a break, because I was like, and I guess in his mind, he was very clear at that point what he wanted, how he wanted. Now we're still dating. So, because remember, this is very early on. And he gets out the military and he buys this house, and because I'm living there with him by this time, and this is just a couple months. So now we're talking 10 months, 9 to 10 months into the relationship. Okay? Very early on. This is not even a year. And he buys this house, and I put a little money into it because I'm living there, even if, I want to I want to upgrade it a little bit, but it's a cute little townhouse or whatever. But it's his townhouse because we're not married. And at this point, we know that we're giving it a try. So this is what he says. He said, let's give it a try. Let's have nobody else in our lives, and let's give it a try. Okay, I was okay with that. I was fine with giving it a try. Number one, it saved me from having to have a certain kind of like label. Like, I just probably didn't need a label at that time, and give us both the freedom to explore each other without like pressure. Well, we decide to have a housewarming, guys. We decide to have a housewarming, and my mom is busy. So normally, if there's anything going on, she doesn't just come. And that should have been an indicator. But her and her best friend came, my brother, and all these friends are there at the house, guys. And guess what happens? So we're having a housewarming. Him and I are just dating, but we living together. And this gentleman proposes to me. We had only talked about a wedding the first weekend we hung out. We had never talked about marriage, wedding, nothing in those months. Remember, we just figuring this out. We just having two kids having a good time. So I'm cooking and I'm doing my famous pasta and all this other stuff, and it's a lot of people and we're hanging out, and I love the party. So I'm entertaining. And he's like, Jackie, come outside. Jackie, come outside. Jackie, come outside. And I'm like, oh gosh, like, Terrence, like, you see, I'm busy here, but okay. And he's talking to me. So he's kind of like slow dance. Now we have a DJ, and I'm not paying attention to the song that's playing. I don't even remember the song, but it's a song that he chose. And so we're dancing, and my mind is everywhere else. Like, I'm like, this guy's wanting me to slow dance in the middle of this party. Now everybody's watching us, and I'm kind of like, yeah, it's outside. We out in the backyard. The DJ's under the tent, and he's talking like in my ear, and I'm like, Terrence is so sappy, like he's so romantic. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. He's talking about, from what I can remember, he's telling me that how much he appreciate me being in his life and da 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 and all this other good stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's nice. Y'all, he gets down on his knees. And I'm still not connecting the dots, y'all. I'm not connecting the dots. I think I'm overstimulated at this point because there's so many people and my mind is in entertaining mode. Like, I'm just entertaining. So what he's doing, I'm not connecting with what he's doing. And I see him go down on the floor, and I'm like, what is he doing? And I start to say, I start to wake up, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my. That's all I'm saying is, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? If you guys are saying anything, please let me know. If y'all let me know that y'all there in the text, that let you know, because I see people coming on. I just want to make sure that y'all are still there. And able to text, because I know sometimes there are times where I'm not able to, you guys are commenting and I'm not being able to see it. So if you're still there, just say here, so I know that you guys are still able to comment. All right, so y'all. Okay, good. I see. Is that the thumbs up? Y'all still there? Say here. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, guys, there on YouTube. Hit that like. Also on Facebook, make sure y'all hit that like button, okay? All right, make sure y'all hit that like. I can't see any comments, y'all, so let me know. Let me know if I need to scroll up, scroll, swipe left to see the comments. Okay. All right, so okay, I'm just listening. Okay, good. All right. Hopefully the story's getting good because it's a real true story. True story. Now, the backstory to this is that Terrence had a conversation with his mother. So he planned the surprise proposal, and he's telling his mom, he went to Florida actually to tell his mom in person that he was going to propose to me. And his mom asked him, had you guys discussed getting married? And he says, Mom, actually, no, we discussed one time about a wedding when we first got together, and our vision for our wedding was the same, but we never talked about marriage after that. Like, that was the last conversation. I probably was ducking and diving that conversation a little bit too, like, a little bit of the runaway bride syndrome, like, you don't. I was just different. Like, how some people want to go and get married. I was kind of like, oh, we having a good time. So his mom says to him, suppose she says no. And he's like, Mom, I didn't think about that. Fast forward to the proposal now. And all I'm saying is, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's all that could come out of my mouth. I was shocked. Guys, I was in shock. Sarita says, sorry, honey. I'm running into the store. Oh, no worry, to get my dinner. No, don't worry. This story's good. Okay, so I'm in shock, y'all. I'm in shock. So, you know how people be like, yes! Guys, I have never been in so much shock in my life. I was like, we here having a party. You proposing? And I just said, oh my God. And Terrence says that he was nervous because of the conversation that he had with his mom. And she says, suppose she says no. And at that point, he didn't think there was any possibility that this girl would say no. You froze. Yeah, I froze. I froze. Yes, the story's good. I froze, y'all. And in his mind, he's thinking, this girl has stopped talking to me before. Remember that 4-week span that I was like, hey, we're going to be friends. So in his mind, he's like, this lady has the potential. I don't know what, she's unpredictable. This woman here is unpredictable. She uses self-control in ways I've never seen before. And sometimes it might not be working out in my favor. So her saying, oh my God, is really concerning me. So when I looked at him, I said, yes. Because I look around and everybody's waiting. They're at a cliffhanger. They're like, this girl is saying, oh my God, way too much. I was in shock. And I think that happens because Terrence and we didn't talk about it. We didn't have a conversation. We didn't do any of those things, like, other than that one conversation about wedding. Now, wedding and marriage is two different things. It comes together, but a wedding and a marriage is two different things. People get prepared for the wedding. They don't get prepared for marriage. Okay? And I was thinking marriage, like, ooh. Is that a yes or no? I know he was waiting. And I didn't know he had this previous conversation with his mother. Waiting, like, this lady could say no. She literally could say no. And if she says no, what am I gonna do? That's probably what everybody was thinking. Like, I was just in shock. To be honest with you, at that moment, I wasn't thinking yes or no. I was thinking, oh my God, everything I was saying, like, ooh, what we doing here? What's happening? Hold on. What's going on? We just partying here. What's happening? And I was completely surprised. Then it started to make sense. My mother's here. There must be something big going on, because my mother just coming for a housewoman is not necessarily what she would do. She got things to do. Like, like, how did you get my mother here? That's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? The fact that my mom is here and she's coming. I mean, I knew she was coming, but I thought she was like, oh, she said yes for the housewoman. Wow, mommy's changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should have known that there was something big happening, but I did not. Like, I was completely surprised. I was completely unaware, and I was like, wow, this guy really likes me. For him to be proposing and we don't have this conversation about wedding, or we said wedding, but about marriage. Ooh, now I knew that I really liked him. Like, I was clear. Like, after he came and swept me away from New York, came and got me after that conversation, I was like, oh, he is, like, he's a man after my heart. Like, he came, I have my own car. Usually I come to see him, but he drove. Like, he's like, I'm not waiting for you to come and see me. I'm going to come in my car 3.5 hours, and pick you up and bring you back with me. That was like, I was like, ooh, he had me at hello. He had me at, I'm in the car waiting for you. Come on, get your stuff. Surprise, surprise. He had me at, get in the car. I'm taking you back to Maryland. You playing games. You've been away from Maryland for 4 weeks. Okay? And since we met, we've been together every day. So you think that you're going to be, you think that you've grown and you're going to be outside of what we doing for 4 weeks? I'm coming to get you. That's what he did, y'all. Terrence got in his car, and he's in the military now. So he has only a a certain window of time because he has to report. It's not like you gonna tell the military I'm gonna be late, because if you late, you in trouble. So he took his window, he calculated his time and was like, I'm gonna drive to New York and get her and drive her back here. So he already had me at a yes, but I wasn't pressuring anything else. Like I was just like, ooh, I like him. He was speaking your language, action beyond words. Exactly. Arville, that's my language. I don't, I'm not a big talker. I'm a communicator and I could talk or whatever, but I'm an action person. So you got to show me through your actions. Don't give me all of this. You give me all of this stuff. It just goes, I need to see what you're doing. And so he was talking my language. So when he proposed, y'all, I was like, he was already at a yes. I just realized, oh, he really likes me. Oh, he really likes me. I like him already. But I had already expressed my vulnerability, my desire not to share. I had been so vulnerable and expressive of like the fact that I just wasn't interested in playing the field or playing the game or none of that stuff that people do. I just didn't have it just wasn't in my it wasn't the season for me to do that. Like maybe if it was a different season I could do that. I just couldn't handle it. So I had already kind of like been expressive about like that I'm rocking with you. We just didn't talk marriage. So it took me, and so people were visiting from out of town, and it took me like 3 days for it to settle in. Like it settled in. I wasn't here. I was like on like I was in space somewhere for like 3 days. Like I was in shock for 3 days, y'all. 7 whole days. Mm-mm-mm. And not a word from you. That's what I was singing like in my head. Like where like girl, like you just really like zoning out. 3 days I was in shock. And then it became real. I was like, oh, we getting married. So then we had to lock in a date. And so guys, y'all might not know that we were engaged for like 2 years because we set a date to get married that next year. But Terrence's parents passed away. So that's a whole nother story. Both of his parents and his sister passed away within 4 months of each other. And it was tragic, all while we were engaged. So not only did we have this fantasy of a thing, his parents were supposed to be at the wedding, we actually released butterflies for them, like, and we had chairs for them because they were all coming to the wedding. And so they weren't able to be at the wedding, but we released butterflies for them, and it was beautiful, guys. And the only thing that I regret about our wedding is that we didn't videotape it. Somebody videotaped. But they videotaped from the camera that we had. We should have had it professionally videotaped. We had a professional photographer. So this time around, we're gonna videotape that thing. Okay. But it was such a beautiful wedding. And guys, let's talk about my delay for like in shock. I think I was in shock for so long. My cousin had to fly from Jamaica to come help me look for a dress. Because I hadn't even gotten a dress in the it was just crazy. So I'm gonna enjoy this wedding number 2. Wedding number 1 was beautiful, but this 20-year like thing that we did, this journey that we've been on, this like hanging out, having a good time, like we've been through some ups and some downs, some tough times, some crying moments, some life altering moments. These 20 years, we have children. Oh my gosh, it's been a lot. And then we have a ton of good times. The good times definitely outweigh the bad times. And we have discussed through the years, maybe after year 5, different things, but I don't even think we were ready for a whole vow renewal at that time. At year 5, I don't think we were ready like for that. I think now is the time. I think now is the time, like we really choose each other again, which I think is beautiful. And for him to want to do that with his antic habit, I'm full of let's what are we doing now, wife? Like, and he's Mr. Busy, I'm Mr. Idea. Mr. Mrs. Not Mr. I'm a woman, y'all. I'm Mrs. Idea. I love this for you too. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And so y'all are gonna um see us get prepared. And y'all, I got so many stories to tell y'all. I'm gonna be telling it through reels and lives and all of that. But I have to. I remember I told you guys that on the wedding day my dress burnt. Okay. So I still have that wedding dress. It's a beautiful wedding dress. It was the first wedding dress that I chose, and it was one that I saw in a magazine. And when I tell you, I was working out and trying to get so small, that dress probably can't even go up my leg right now. I was so small. Terrence is like, don't ever get that small again. I was so small for that wedding, but I would love to be able to fit into that dress. And I'm gonna pull it out for y'all one day. In this process of us getting prepared, I would love to wear, maybe not that dress again. There's some other cute dresses, but I would love to at least get into it and wear it for a party. That dress was fire. That dress was fire. It was so good. It was a really, really good dress. And I got small to get in that. I didn't have to do any alterations because I made sure that I had a bunch of water, protein down so I could get into that dress. But that was just too small. It was way too small. But it was nice. If I can get that dress is right upstairs. It's still in the bag. And so I got to tell you about the story where I burnt my wedding dress in this process as I get ready and decide if I could try to if I could get into that dress again. It's going to take probably a whole year for me to work out and get myself down. But we're going to go and travel and see. Last time we got married in Jamaica, our honeymoon was in Jamaica. What are we gonna do now? Um, Arville said, "You sound like me with my bridesmaid's dress from my sister's wedding. I still have and want to try it on." Exactly. I'm not that small. Listen, I've had people like they borrowed my shoes. Like, so one thing, my veil, people borrowed my shoes. I had a couple of people borrow my shoes. But the dress, people couldn't get into the dress. They couldn't get into the dress. They wanted it. They wanted the dress, y'all. They couldn't get into the dress. They couldn't get into the dress. I can't get into the dress right now. So that's gonna be fun. And like, are we gonna do like a big wedding? Are we gonna have the kids in the wedding? Are they gonna be our bridesmaids? And well, flower girls. I don't know. My kids are big now. Am I gonna have a wedding court? Like, what are we doing? How's it gonna be? So now we got a plan, and we are gonna go. Take y'all with us, and go and see about places and countries, and who's gonna come, and if people are able to do destinations, and we are going to have a good time. And I'm grateful that we have stood the test of time. It wasn't without problems, it wasn't without trials, it wasn't without heartache, it wasn't without happiness, it wasn't without triumphs, it wasn't without um, expectancy, creativity. Like, we have created our own little world. You're talking about um, two people who, my mom was a single mom. I did have my dad in my life, but we didn't live in the same household. Terrence's dad lived separate from his mom, and she had her family, but she was a young mother. Um, and we've had dysfunction, and our thought process of a good marriage was the Cosby Show. Like, I wanted that Cosby Show life. He wanted that Cosby Show life. And we tried to create a life that, with for our children and togetherness. Like, we have been on the same page about creating a fun life, a good life for our kids, where they didn't have to see toxicity in their life and all that other stuff. And so we've tried really, really hard to give them more than what we had. And my mom gave me a great life, but she was a single mom, and so she worked a lot, right? And so there were things that that I didn't get, but it made me who I am. And I try to be there for my girls in ways where you know and that my mom would she couldn't just leave her place of work to come and pick me up from school. I drop my kids off every day. I pick them up, and we're talking about high schoolers and middle schoolers, and I'm still there for them and still trying to be flexible enough where I'm available to them and available to Terrence in ways um, where he can do the things that he want to do. And then he works hard. Like, guys, he went and got a second job, y'all, so that I can creatively work my businesses and create content. Like, he's working a second job, y'all. It's no joke. Like, now he's working even harder. And now I got to work even harder to contribute to the household. He's done this for 20 years. Like, I've worked, guys. So I've worked in different careers, and I've been had the flexibility of like doing businesses and stuff like that, but the majority of our life he has been like the breadwinner. And Terrence is doing, when and we had smaller salaries. So at one point we were making about a similar salaries, and then he continued to to raise up. And then I because I started to have the babies and all of that, I needed flexibility and to be home with the kids as much as I could, but still work. So he took on, not verbally. I think that's our theme. Like, it's not things that we say like, "Oh, you're going to stay home." It was never said for me to stay home. It just happened where if like me flying, when I was flying as a flight attendant, it took me outside of the home and away from the kids, and they were really small. So it was important for me to be more home. So I had to find things that and work businesses that I could be more flexible. So I've always tried to be flexible and still bring in money. And so that's why I'm here and we're doing content so that I can do this for a living and do what I love, coming on, talking with you guys, sharing our lives. And then but then Terrence got to get two jobs. Guys, come on, I got to help my husband out. Okay. The man he got two jobs. Lord, it's hard to find a good man these days. So that's a blessing. Thank you so much. And I appreciate him so much. And of course, I would marry him again. He has shown that even though he's not perfect, he's willing to work. I have shown that even though I'm not perfect, I'm willing to work. Um, and we both have a desire to help others. And like, if you are in a marriage, we want you to win. And if you don't want to be married, we want you to win. And if you want to be married, we want you to win. Like, we just want you to win. And so we share that in common, that like we just love on people, we enjoy people, we care about people, we care about your stories, and we're grateful that you care about us. And so That's why we come on and we do what we do. Guys, I've been talking like for almost an hour and a half. Y'all, I go through so much time of being quiet and observant. Then when I get to talking, you ain't gonna be able to stop me. I'm still running my mouth, y'all. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the story. Did you guys enjoy the story time? I hope that you guys have enjoyed the story time. Okay? So y'all get to see how we got to even being married. Would I tell you guys to do this at home? No. Do I even want my kids to hear this story? No. Because the girls are definitely like in crush mode. They got crushes. And I hear that some of their friends watch this channel. So I'm watching y'all. Okay. Yes, I enjoyed your story. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have so many stories, guys. So just know that on this road to wedding number 2, number 1, oh my child calling me. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. Hey, London, everything okay?
Hello.
Hey, I'm on live. Everything okay?
Are we going to North Carolina tomorrow?
Yes, we are.
What time?
Why, you have something to do in school?
No, like tomorrow's field day, so I don't do anything at school.
Okay, well, I'm on live, so let's talk about it when we get home, okay? When I pick you up.
Can you pick me up now?
No. I'll see you in a minute, baby.
Bye.
Bye. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all there? That's London. That's the stuff that I'm available for my children when they think they could call me to pick them up early for school for no reason. That's London. She called me every day. But I did tell her that if you ever need to call mommy and you're in school and your teacher's okay with it, you go and you call me and I could check in with you. I tell my kids that. Like, if y'all need to call me and something's going on, call me. Let the teacher know. I'll let them know that you're able to call me and I want to receive your call. So I want to be available to them. But anyway, guys, that was Miss London calling me, asking me to pick up. But we are actually going on a journey tomorrow. You guys will be seeing some of our adventures. The adventures continue. So although we'll be preparing for this wedding number 2, we also will be continuing with our travels. Some will just be family travels. Others will be getting ready for this wedding, y'all. Like, y'all think I don't think we should do a big wedding. I think it should be intimate. The last wedding was intimate. But for a destination wedding, we had almost 70 people. And I thought that was big. That was a big number. But I'm going to tell you all about that too. We have some funny and crazy stories surrounding that and creating new memories. Yo, should we do a wedding on a cruise? And everybody comes everybody come to the wedding? Should we do it at a resort and do like a retreat / wedding? Like, what should we do? Now I got to get my new look. Huh. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's exciting. I think the first time I was like in a dream. Like, is this really happening? Now I'm like, oh, we really get to honor each other. Like, it's not about the fairy tale of it all. I feel like we've been living in the fairy tale, and so we get to create more of that. And that's good. In fairy tales, there's good and bad, right? And I like to remind people, because sometimes people think that things are so perfect with you in life, and it's nothing perfect. Okay, it's just purposeful. Like, we're not perfect. We just try to be purposeful. We try to do things on purpose, but not perfect. I can't. I like I told you, I'm too vulnerable. I can't live up. I can't live up to no perfection. Okay, that ain't gonna work for me. I can't. I can't. I done been through enough um, in life to know that that's something that's just not attainable, and I'm not going to try to do that. I'm just going to be as purposeful as possible. And so I hope that you guys have enjoyed this story. I have enjoyed talking with y'all. I'm going to come back live. You guys will be on the road trip with us. And also, I'll be releasing some videos. There's so much going on. I don't even know what to put up. What part, excuse me, what part of life that you guys need to, that I could share. I'm going to try to share as much as I can with y'all, um, and still be present in the moment, because it's important to be present in your life. Uh, Real stuff is happening out there. Like, we have real serious things happening in our family. And there are times where I have to decide on whether to come live, to thank you, to come live, to record a video, or to deal with the real life stuff that's happening in my own with my own family. And there are times where I just don't go. I just don't go live, or I won't post because life is life. And but it's not that I don't want to, but just trust and believe that um, that I take you guys serious. I really appreciate all of you guys, whether I've known you for a couple of minutes or a long period of time. I want to continue to build our community. I thank y'all over there on Facebook and YouTube for coming back and like we never left. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm coming back strong, and y'all come back stronger. Please share this page and this family with all of your family, so y'all could talk about, hey, we going to win. I'ma just show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, share us with your family and friends, because I believe in building community. Um, and I feel like through our stories, through our encouragement, through our life, and through like maybe some of our trips and our travels together, like we could really bond, and have a good time. And if not in person, definitely virtually. So love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. It's been real. I will be back on. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, people over there on Facebook and here on YouTube, please subscribe. Also, engagement is so important. So as you guys come on, even here on Facebook, if y'all like it and y'all comment it and share it, it tells the algorithm of whatever platform we're on to push it out. We don't, like, I'm not doing any ads or anything like that. So we don't get to like push it out ourselves. It's you guys that will watch and push us out. And so I'm going to do my part by putting up the content, and then y'all do y'all part by keeping us going. We love you too. See you next live. All right, I'll see you next live. See you. See y'all. I didn't even cook, y'all. Look, the food is right back there. The food just sitting out there. I did not cook. I was supposed to be on here cooking. I was supposed to be on here cooking. So I'll come back on. Tomorrow we'll be on the road. All right. See y'all. Let me see. It says turn this live into. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. All right. I will see y'all later. I'm going to make myself something to eat, and I will chat to y'all.